Peace, love, and coconut oil families, the Young Caribbean God Simon Ra back at you with another installment on Millionaire Empire. This reason is going to be about energy exchange, basic and sexual. So before we really go into even the exchanging part, we need to define what we really exchanging, which is the energy. So what is energy? According to the law of conservation and thermodynamics, it says that energy can be converted in form, meaning it can change its shape, it can change its form, but it cannot be created or destroyed. Okay, this is what the law of conservation and the law of thermodynamics says. Now, this thing that cannot be created or destroyed would only mean that it has been there since the beginning of existence. Okay, because it cannot be created, so it had to already been existing. Now, when we even have a look at the universe and it being composed of even dark energy and dark matter, we can see the even primordial existence of this energy, even later on being transferred into this 3D, this third dimension, via everything that has life being an extension of that divine consciousness. Because remember, we say consciousness is energy, so that would mean that the divine, or the source, or the all, the mind, which created everything that we see, which we are also extensions of, is also energy. So this thing being in existence from the beginning of time, and since we actually possess part and parcel of it to some degree, it can be defined as a quantitative property that allows something to move or to do work. So this energy, family, it's been in existence from the beginning, and it gives the potential to do work for movement. This work is not only physical, but can also be mental as well, because we're dealing with two planes here. I don't want to go too far in defining the energy to make the family go astray as to what I'm really saying. I mean, the family should know we're energetic beings. Okay, take for example, there are many different kinds of energy, family, but no matter the kind or the description, it will only fall within two classes, either potential energy or kinetic energy. Potential energy is when the energy is stored up, and kinetic energy is energy that is being used. Now remember, I said we are all extensions of this great divine energy which cannot be created, which was there from the beginning. So since we are all extensions of it, being that the four kingdoms, the four domains, I mentioned that in a previous video, we have the mineral domain, the plant, the animal, and the human domain, as how the ancestors perceived it. Humans are at the highest level of this creation in regards to having that free will, because everything, all the animals and the plants, follow a programming, family. Now we know the programming as well, but we can choose to not follow that programming. Don't want to go too off in a tangent here, still talking about energy. So what I'm basically trying to say, though everything which has life in this third dimension contains a quantitative amount, meaning an amount of that energy, we being the highest creation in this dimension will contain, in essence, a lot of that source, of that energy, family. That energy is intangible. Obviously, we can't touch it, but some instruments have been able to measure it. Now remember, I said there are many forms of energy. Let's have a look at a few of them. There is what is referred to as thermal energy. Thermal meaning heat. Heat energy is created by the vibration of atoms, family. The faster atoms vibrate, the more heat they create. Take for example, when you have two metal parts rubbing together. Okay, take for example a car engine. It's a lot of metal parts in the engine rubbing together. And what happens after a time? The metal and the parts and the engine components in itself actually start to heat up. That's why you need the cooling system for the car, where you have the coolant, the radiator, etc. It has to cool down the system, because if that heat was just to increase, pretty soon the engine would just blow up. You see what I'm saying, family? We also have, family, chemical energy. Now chemical energy is energy that is stored in the bonds of atoms. That energy basically is what holds the atoms together. Okay, we also get chemical energy in things like natural gas in food. For example, food has chemical energy within it, energy which is stored, which when our body consumes it, will convert it into the necessary energy for our different cells in our body. Then we have nuclear energy. Now, nuclear energy is actually stored in the nuclei of atoms. Now, nucleus is one, nuclei is plural. Family should know this. And that energy, you actually get that energy when you either combine nuclei, what they call fusion, or when you split a nuclei, what they call fission. So fusion and fission. So that energy is stored basically in the nuclei of atoms, and that is how you get that energy. Then we have electrical energy, family, which all of us should be familiar with. Now, electric energy is caused by the movement of electrons. Okay? Electrons passing through a conductor, like a wire, for example, is called electricity. Right? And they have many more, family. They also have radiant or light energy, which is caused by electromagnetic radiation. From them I say electromagnetic, you should know the greatest producer of electromagnetic energy we have is the sun. And that form of energy is usually produced in waveform, family. And it's stored in the photons of the rays of the sun when it leaves the surface of the sun and heads towards Earth. Photons, not protons. So all these energies which I just mentioned, which are different examples of energies, we all contain these energies within our cells, family. Okay, directly or indirectly. Take for example, we have trillions of cells, family, and each cell, it has been recorded scientifically, carries a voltage of 1.4. So if every cell in our body has a voltage of 1.4, that is the God body, the physical vessel, the part and parcel of the energy that we are, that obviously at the time of transition we have to merge back with, okay, still has its own energy within it. So imagine all that energy composed within one vessel. Mankind or man has all that energy possessed within them. So if you are woke and you know that you are an energetic being, a light being, you are conscious about that, you are aware of that. Being a light being, because remember light energy, isn't it incumbent upon you to shine light in this apparent world of darkness while it's going through the transition from the Piscean to the Aquarian age, family? Isn't it incumbent upon you? Because I know we always reading memes about energy and it says don't exchange or don't give out the same energy you get, and there are times that we cannot help it. You understand? Where if you just have a person that's giving you all energy, giving you all vibes, like some neighbors, for example, the family should know what I'm talking about. Some neighbors, after a while, you're going to just be there, hi, nice all the time. Sometimes you have to, fire some shots, man. You should hit, and sometimes it's not even really verbally. Sometimes you just need to just cut out the hypocrisy. You understand? For a time or even completely, altogether, But as light beings, family, it's incumbent upon you to even shed light where darkness seems to be thriving. So as a light worker or a light being, where you see darkness, and I don't mean darkness as referring to complexion, I'm referring to darkness as in confusion, sadness, okay, worry, stress. If you see another individual going through this, especially if they're not knowledgeable in regards to them possessing this energy and being an extension of the divine consciousness, so they are divinity in themselves, do not understand this, are not even really close to perceiving this, but you knowing this and can use it to aid a situation, why don't you? And I know we have what we call empaths, right? Where people that take on other people's sorrows and burdens, and after a while it becomes too much for them to bear. So they tend to isolate themselves for a time period to recharge. These people actually know what people are feeling. through their own experiences, can even provide the right word and guidance and support for that particular individual. Now, not considering the impacts, we're just talking generally now. You being a light worker, Casa, you have to do something. You understand? So that is where the basic exchange of energy. Not everybody is going to come at you with good energy because you don't know what people are going through. You check what I'm saying? So sometimes you meet a bedroom and you're Irish and say, hey, bless up, bless up, bless up. What you say, has a peace, peace, peace. You know what I mean? Long time and a good energy exchange. But you see a bedroom of yours there, his head down, pretty done, ready to cry already, like, you know what I mean? And you in your good mood, you probably just finish kiss your girl or whatever, or hug her up, or, you know, you're just feeling irie, light, you know. And you go to the bedroom, and the man down, obviously his energy doesn't match yours, so you're not exchanging good energy for good energy. But you are now are supposed to provide that support. You understand? And because your energy being up, you have to bring his energy up. I know it may also take some of your energy to do so, family. But you probably have your own ways of energizing, and they are very low at the moment. So why should you be selfish to hold your energy and not put theirs up? You understand what I'm saying? That is the basic exchange of energy. Okay? There are times, if you know certain individuals and their behavior and mannerisms and decorum, and you know it's probably a waste of time, well, yeah, you can conserve your energy. You understand? That is being knowledgeable. Right? But if the situation is not so, as we said previously, it's incumbent upon you to promote and elevate and shine that light so the individual can proliferate that light. You understand? And both of you can just shine bright like a diamond. Now, because of this world we're living in, family, I mean, it was already a way before COVID. After COVID, they get dread. People don't really care anymore. All people checking about is making that money, making that paper, yo. You understand? To a level you can't blame them, but we cannot forget who we are as a people. And that innate element in us to love. So because of the times we're in, it's a lot of dread, it's dread times, family. A lot of people out of work, can't feed their families, can't check for their partners, you know, can't even really have a good time because a lot of war is on the conscience. So within this time more than ever, our job as light beings has even double or triple, you can say. You understand? So you can't really be selfish and hold all the energy to yourself. You understand? Because I mean, really and truly, we are a balance of the two, the positive and the negative. But because of the influences in whether your immediate or your sporadic environments, it has an effect on you. We're not even gonna go into whether your horoscope or whether your ruling planet is the moon. Like myself, that's just a different category altogether. That is what I explained times 7. Let's just put it that way. So family, this is where the basic energy exchange comes in. Okay? As light beings and being conscious that you are good and positive energy in itself, though it is a battle for yourself to keep up that energy. You can't be selfish and hold it to yourself, because thereby we're starting to become selfish, which is a trait of the ego and which also binds us to a level, you know. So that is the basic exchange. Now, the sexual energy exchange, that part of the reasoning is predicated upon a question I was asked by an individual. Since being on the knowledgeable path, on the hope path, you could say, those individuals just coming into the knowledge and into the understanding sometimes would confide in me and ask me questions. So one of the questions were, do I think a man and a woman should come together sexually if either one of them the energy is low? I say either one of them now, but the question was, if the man energy is low, right? Should the woman even engage in sexual activity with the man? Isn't that breeding the negative energy? Or isn't that basically, while it might put his energy up, she basically taking in the negative energy, right? And if she is not about that negativity but about that positivity, what do I think about the situation? So I'm going to approach the situation first scientifically, then intuitively. Okay, I'm going to use both brain hemispheres behind this. Now remember, we said we are all energetic beings, and we described the various forms of energy and how we all contain it. Now that is within mankind. Now let us break down mankind. We have the male and the female. There is no question about it whatsoever, and any man now question that have a problem. The woman is superior to the man. I mean, they'd have no debate about that. They'd have no, I mean, if you want to talk about that, come and check me. But we already break that down in our past videos. The woman is superior to the man. Alright? A little gist of it is, if we go into the chromosomes, the woman being the XX and the man being the XY, the Y is actually 5 times smaller than the X. It comes after, I mean, check the alphabet. The Y comes after the X. The Y is also the X chromosome minus 2.8% of its genetic material. Okay? So that can even go into the phenotype of the man, how he is even created, even his reproductive parts. First, within the first 6 weeks of any child development within the womb, male or female, is first a female. So by far, the female has that advantage over the man. I can go deeper into that still, but another video for that. I just want the family to ride with me on this. So family, if the woman is to a level more superior than the man, she providing the man the throne chair for him to sit down, wouldn't it be right to say that this woman has this particular extension of that energy in a different, higher way? I don't have a problem with saying that. I don't have a problem in saying that, because that would mean that's my mother. Because your mother self took care of you from small, so it's like she have that energy in a different kind of way. You see what I say in family? So we left our mother, now you go with your woman now. The woman is basically Heka in herself. Heka being the ancient Kemetic word for magic. The woman is magic, right? Magic. And obviously we're talking about sex magic right now. But magic in terms of, she is, you can say, the scientist of alchemy. Alchemy is her. Alchemy is the ability to take something and change it and produce something else, or something better or more. Proliferate it positively. Right? So the woman, that's why you say a woman, give a woman a house, she'll turn it to a home. Give her a little one to sperm some semen, she giving you a baby. You know what I mean? Buy her some shopping, all them different chemicals and energies, she taking and she producing a meal for you. You check what I say in family? So she has that energy to take something, set it up, and give it back to you. So with that understanding, I say, if your king, right, your God, really is probably going through a difficult time, I mean, because as most men are breadwinners, we know how hard it is right now there. You understand? We just explained and spoke about the COVID and pandemic scenario. So it's hard on a lot of men there right now. Not that I say not hard on the women, but our overall responsibility is to take care of the black woman. Black woman is to take care of the family. So we have nurturer and provider like that. You check what I'm saying? So we the men sometimes feeling the pressure and the stress and everything, but you don't know, as men, if you have to show that, that means like you're lacking in testosterone or you're not a man, hell pussy you be. You check what I tell you. So they're like men, that's why men most times hide their emotions and the stress and what they're going through. And when you hear the shout, mid commit suicide, mid go and do a magic himself, and you know what I mean, family. So in essence, if your man feeling low and your energy on par, you being an alchemist, it is incumbent now on you, right, as the first god, to take that. Because when the sexual energy happening, okay, we're not even going to talk about linking chakras because chakras is something I haven't gone into. Again, because of the tech we have, family, you know, but we'll go into it eventually. You know, to merge chakras there like that, you have the potential to take that negative energy, set it up, or send some of yours and set it up and give it to yourself even as positive now. You understand? And both for you leave that union and that part of spiritual bonding moment as elevated beings, because that's what it's supposed to do. I mean, if you're doing the right breathing, okay, coherent heart breathing, even the man, even before time of ejaculation, there are certain breathing techniques that you're supposed to do so you do not feel depleted. So yes, I feel that the woman, because you can let another woman come and try and make a word feel better. You understand what I'm saying? So it's incumbent upon you now to use that alchemist and that love energy to take negative energy or low vibrational vibes, especially if he's your king. I mean, for another individual, yeah, we just explained that. Especially for within a relationship, king or queen. But right now we're talking about the queen already seeing that her superiority within the whole, even trinity, you can say, right? She at the head. So ultimately, being the alchemist goddess, because that's why I say, guys, if man now start to come to the understanding, you know, he's not a man god to say, and we know God is energy and consciousness, but at the same time, within this third dimension, within this realm, if we have to actually consider that, you know, firstly, the God would actually be the black woman. And the first example I have of the black woman is my mother, and then my sister, and then my empress, being my girlfriend. You'll see how different the world would be. I mean, concerning black people, because we have a lot of love for each other. You understand? So if that was a learned principle within youngsters, things would be different. Trust me on that, family. You see what I'm saying? So in regards to the basic energy, we already showed how that happening. And within the sexual energy, the woman being the alchemist still has the obligation, we can even say, because if you decide to choose to be in a relationship with the man, then you can, like as I said earlier, you can't let another woman come and do that. So you're obligated now, and you shouldn't even feel bad about doing it, because if that is the person you decided to spend the rest of your life with, for example, you're in a relationship. If you're in a relationship, you do not see yourself with anybody else. Let's just put it that way. If you're seeing that, it ain't making sense to actually be in a relationship, right? So you're in a relationship, love done grow already, and we're talking about that sexual exchange. Because sex is not just, oh, sex, yeah, but not call me daddy, all them stupidness, you know what I mean? That's a exchange, that's a of emotion, being energy in motion, emotion, like e-boy or e-phone or something. Energy in motion, we just explained that same energy. So it's that display of emotion towards each other while we have actually merged to become one for that moment. It's incumbent upon both individuals to raise the vibration of each other. And that is basically the energy exchange, basic and sexual. And having said that, peace, love, and